Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. We're continuing where we left off last time, where we finally finished the Kith'rak and that whole monastery area. And we are now ready to go to this goblin camp to see what the deal is there. So let's head on in. Entering a different region. Interesting. So we've seen that usually when you're taking a major change in region, like going from the starting area to the mountain pass or the Underdark. I would have expected this to just be a small side path, like the monastery was. Like a little cave. I guess let's head in and see what we see. If it feels like that's, you know, Act 2 or something, I doubt it is, then maybe we'll step back and not do it. But I'm sure it's fine. Just feels weird that it's a whole new region. Wait. This took us to our camp. I'm confused. Why did that take us to our camp? Nighttime in our camp where we're ready to rest. That is weird. I don't think I need to rest yet. Is something significant happening here? I don't see anyone looking like they need to talk. I definitely wasn't expecting that. Well, let's talk to people.
I was hoping you'd come to chat. What do you need?
Well, we haven't talked about us in a while. You and I, we share something special. I think I want to talk about it.
Very serious of you. But go ahead.
How are you faring?
It's strange. I've been dwelling on what I told you before about wanting to become a Dark Justiciar. But perhaps I should be content with my lot. I'm already blessed to have you at my side, after all.
Yeah, so that's just the same dialogue we've heard before. Well, let's talk about what's happened to us.
Fine. What's on your mind?
How am I holding up in your estimation? We already know she likes us. This is just fishing for compliments.
Quite splendidly, to give credit where it's due. You and I have shared some good times together, and it seems we have plenty in common.
Okay. It would be funny just right here. Yeah, we should journey separately. I don't want to be around you anymore. Hi. Does Lae'zel have anything to say? Now that we've wiped out her Kith'rak and she is in a position to be against Blackith.
You must have questions.
Nothing. Although I think now actually seems like a reasonable time to ask this and to try and push for her to use the tadpole's power. I've been holding off because, again, it feels weird knowing that I can just auto-succeed, basically, because my persuasion is super high. Who knows if it'll actually auto-succeed, but my persuasion's really good, and I didn't want to just force them through. But Lae'zel has just had her whole world turned on its head. And no longer... Before, she's just like, oh yeah, once we find my people, we'll get the tadpole out. But we've tried that and it failed, and we now no longer have any plans of how to get the tadpole out. So it seems we're stuck with it. And she's got Blackith against her. And so it feels like now is a reasonable time, actually, to just say, well, where things now sit, have you thought about making use of the tadpole's power?
Mark my words, this power would be no blessing, but a curse. You might as well ask me to gouge out my eyes for the promise of sight, or slice off my tongue for the promise of taste. Consume all the gate tadpoles you wish. I'm not so craven.
So yeah, the same dialogue response. Obviously, it doesn't have any connection to what's going on in the story, but it does feel like a more fitting time to make the ask. We must bear the tadpole's burdens. We should also avail ourselves of their power. I'm not gonna cast friends. That is a good way to get your allies to hate you. We need a 5 or better. It's fine. Give it a roll. Nat 20. Critical success. Talk about being persuasive.
Perhaps you... No, that's absurd. When the tadpole has stretched to every pore and slithered through every vein, what am I to do then? It won't hear my screams. It won't care if I beg. I will be remade in its image. My faith in Vlaakith will guide me, and my own might will sustain me. I have no need of this depraved power.
So she's still putting her faith in Vlaakith. She did say that maybe this is a trial that Vlaakith is putting her through. So it seems like she hasn't completely given up on the Githyanki and Vlaakith. Even though their device that's supposed to get the tadpole out almost killed her. And Vlaakith turned on her without even hearing our report. Just immediately decided, or I guess the Githyanki and the Kresh decided we had to die. After we'd gone in, following Vlaakith's command. This cult of the Absolute is dangerous. We should take all the help we can get. I am a living example of the tadpole's benefits. I've never felt more powerful. True. Depraved or not, you are no good to your queen dead. You need these talents. Do we play on her faith in Vlaakith? Because we could go that route as well. No, I don't want to push her towards Vlaakith. I think at some point she's going to need to turn away from Vlaakith. Because we're not going to side with Vlaakith, and we want Lae'zel to side with us. So, I'm a living example of the tadpole's benefits. I've never felt more powerful, which is true. We get that extra +3 bonus to a lot of our checks with new individuals. We get the extra killing when people are close to death. So yeah, we're really powerful because of the tadpoles. We need an 8 now, 8 or better. These are getting to be harder checks. That's not an 8 or better. I could re-roll it, but I'm not going to. I'll let things lie where they lie. Oh, we only have 1 inspiration as well. We need to rebuild that up.
You're wasting your time and mine. The answer is no.
Okay. I will respect your no, though if another point in time where it becomes even more apparent that where you're currently placing your faith is not sufficient, then maybe I'll try and persuade you again. But it's not going to be like with Shadowheart when we wanted to know her background and we just pestered her daily until she gave in. I'm fine with just leaving this alone for a while, as we have been.
Always makes my day better.
Hey, soldier.
Nothing new there. Starion?
Need something?
Yeah, so I don't think anyone's going to have anything new or interesting to say.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Which is a shame. Gale hasn't needed a magical item in a while. Part of the reason I'm not selling them and we just are sort of hoarding magical items is I assume Gale will need them at some point. But so far he hasn't. So I probably don't need to hoard them as much.
You wish to speak?
Apparently not. Will.
Well met.
We still haven't found his father. Because he was taken to the tower, we believe. So we'll get there eventually. Don't think I need to ask him about the Illithid potential. He hasn't gone through anything specific yet that feels like a good reason to push it. So then the question is, do we sleep? We don't need to sleep yet. We've still got both of our short rests. We still have a good chunk of our spells. I mean, I've used some. Shadowheart's used very little. But the fact that they sent me here, I'm hoping that... Sent me here at night. I'm hoping that means that there's some sort of event. Maybe we'll save. If a nighttime event happens, then cool. But if not, there's no point to resting here, and it just awkwardly took us here for no reason, then I'm just going to reload and not waste the time or food or anything.
Supreme Kith'rak, has Vlaakith sent you to slay me with your own blade?
I've not come to kill you, Lae'zel. I've come to aid you.
Don't trust him.
Skakek Kier Gith Shabeleth. My blade rests. Mother Gith compels you to listen.
Interesting. This does not seem in any way related to the goblin camp. But very interesting. So do I take the lead? Fine, we'll hear what you have to say before we gut you. Or do we let Lae'zel take the lead? She should take the lead because she's Githyanki, and he's specifically, I would think, coming to talk to her. Again, we're the charismatic one. We should do all the talking, but this feels like a Lae'zel situation. So I'm going to let her take the lead and hope she doesn't botch it.
Speak. My ear is yours.
I know you carry the astral prism, Lae'zel. Within it lies the seed of Vlaakith's demise, and I intend to help you bring it to fruition.
Vlaakith's demise? Skaketh. I should run you through for suggesting it.
You're talking about the person inside. Do you know who that is? What are you asking of us, Voss? You must either be a fool or a hero to work against your own queen. Very true. I'm not giving you the astral prism if that's what you're wanting. Yeah, so I know I just said that we want to turn against Vlaakith, but I also don't trust this guy. We said early on that he didn't seem to be siding... Like, his goals didn't seem to fully align with Vlaakith's, and so we couldn't trust him. But are his goals... Who is he working for, I guess is the question. Is he working for Orpheus, the prince who arguably should be leading the Githyanki rather than Vlaakith, depending on your view of that history? Or is he siding with the Absolute to turn against Vlaakith? I don't know. Are you talking about the person inside? Do you know who that is?
If they have not said, they must have good reason, and I won't be the one to betray them. But the one inside's chosen you as an ally, protects you with their power. That very power will be the end of Vlaakith's tyranny. The Prism's tenant must be let loose. I've sought their freedom for eons. When the Prism went missing, I feared the worst. Instead, you've granted the opportunity I've so long awaited. All that remains is the key that unchains them. And I've found someone who I believe can provide it. Bring the Prism to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting in a taproom called Shares's Caress. That is where we decide the fate of my people. Lae'zel, together we will break our chains and be Vlaakith's slaves no longer.
I am no slave, just still Kith'rak. The Undying Queen is my freedom. It is she who will purify me, and she who will ascend me.
Lies, Lae'zel, every last one. There is no purification, no ascension. The Zaith Isk does not purify, it extracts memory and kills the infected. Nor does the Lich Queen glorify the ascended. She feeds on most all of them to grow her power and pursue godhood.
Madness! You flood me with this heresy. I will hear no more of it.
You went for the crossbow? You got a lot of really good melee weapons, but you're going with the crossbow. Sure. He speaks true of the Zaith'isk. We need to trust him. I mean, I think he's telling the truth about the Zaith'isk. It's possible that just this local creche modified theirs to hurt and kill. It's possible that the Zaith'isk doesn't know how to deal with our specific breed of Mind Flayer, and normal Mind Flayer parasites could have been taken out, although the Gustil would have known that we had the special parasites, and therefore would have known it wouldn't have worked, because she's already extracted several. My guess is he's telling the truth, and the Zaith'isk just kills. What do you want to do, Lae'zel? I have your back. Blackith led you astray. I believe him, and so should you. Kill him. This is your chance to earn Blackith's redemption. I don't know that I trust him. So we could throw the ball in Lae'zel's court. I have your back. But we know Lae'zel is against him. So that decision is just a decision for the same thing as this. Kill him. More or less. This one might not go directly to kill. It might just be, aggression of some sort. So really it's side with Blackith or side with him. He speaks true of the Zaith'isk. Yes. You need to trust him. Maybe. That feels too strong. Blackith led you astray. I believe him, and so should you. We believe Blackith leading her astray. We don't really have that solidly. Our main viewpoint of that is what we were told by the Dream Visitor, which we also can't fully trust. Neither of those options is great. Trust feels too strong, but I'm going to go with this. We know the Zaith'isk is definitely designed to kill. That he's speaking the truth about that. We don't know that Blackith led us astray. And since that seems to be the main point, I'm going to go with option 1. He speaks true of the Zaith'isk. You need to trust him. Lae'zel approves. Interesting.
I served Blackith the whole of my life. Learned her words, fought her battles. Yet she names me her Sharlak. Your words carry truth. I will meet you in Baldur's Gate. Do not make me regret it.
Lae'zel, I see Talak Magir in you, sister in freedom. Together we will be our people's light. Take this. It is a Quanith, a psionic detector. The Queen's warriors hunt you. The Quanith will sound you out when you come near their portals. Hear its cry and prepare for battle, or slip away.
Interesting.
I should go. Vlakith's gaze pierces the seas and skies. She believes me loyal, and I can't afford her mistrust.
Keep the astral prism close. Let no one take it from you. Slay any who try. Now to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting, Lae'zel.
And we still have time before we get to Baldur's Gate, so we can learn more about, what's going on and make our own decisions. Like, we haven't agreed that we're going to give him the artifact when we get to Baldur's Gate. We've just agreed to consider it. Anyway, Not surprisingly, Lae'zel wants to talk now. That was a cool scene. Again, not related any way I can tell to a goblin camp. But yeah, definitely a cool scene. And it is starting to push Lae'zel away from Blackith, which I think is good. I don't know if we want to trust this Voss guy. But we know we can't trust Blackith. Because in the end, she will betray us to take the prism. Her goals for the future of everything do not align with our goals for the future. Because she wants to enslave everything. And we don't want to be enslaved.
Vlaakith Kosivim Hrath Crashet. Only in Vlaakith may we find light. These were the first words I ever read on Tirsu's slate. But they are no mere aphorism. They are law. They are creed. The root from which the 10,000 protocols stem. Forsake one protocol, and forsake Vlaakith. Forsake Vlaakith, and be the blood and meat which sates her dragons. If Voss speaks true, if Ascension is a lie, if tadpole purification is a fairy tale, then I have not sinned against Vlaakith. She has sinned against me.
Interesting. It's a good viewpoint. To tell yourself that... Because she really doesn't want to turn from her morals. And so if she can get herself into the mind frame where she's not the one who took the first step into the wrong, Blackith is the one who broke the pact between Githyanki and Blackith, and therefore she no longer is bound. It's a healthier mindset. What does Ascension entail exactly? I do want to know that. Voss called Blackith a tyrant. Does this mean you agree? Who's the one in the prism, do you think? And if Voss is wrong, if his claims are wrong and Blackith's are real, obviously it's about time you figured it out. That's a bit rough. What does Ascension entail exactly? You've mentioned it several times. We don't know what it means.
Ascension is a young Githyanki's greatest honor. Long ago, the Geich enslaved my people. They dominated our minds and bred us for war, until Great Mother Gith took a hammer to our bonds. From the day of our hatching, young Gith have one purpose: to train hard enough to slay a Geich and take its head. Then, we speak the rite of Ascension, and a red dragon comes to fly us to Vlaakith in Tunarath, City of Death. We are honored with an eternal home in the Astral, celebrated for our victory. We are ascended. Or so I believed.
So, you go to Blackith and are never seen again? Yeah, it's definitely sketchy. Like, if the Ascended returned and everyone was able to see them and think, oh yeah, you've definitely gotten some sort of promotion, or maybe that's when you get your red dragon, or you get some sort of cool boon. Awesome. But if you just disappear and all you have is her word that you're living a happy life with her, yeah, that's sketchy. Voss called Blackith a tyrant. Does this mean you agree?
I'd never thought Vlaakith a tyrant, or me as a vassal. She was the source of my might, and I the envoy of her will. A warrior, a champion, a destroyer. But if Voss is right, and Vlaakith consumes the Ascended to gain power, then I am no destroyer. I am mere livestock, bred to be harvested and devoured. Every Githyanki is a slave with a singular purpose. Not to cull the Geich, not to prevent their grand design, but to raise Vlaakith to true godhood.
Yep. Again, we don't know. We suspect that Vlaakith is in the wrong. We don't necessarily know that Voss is telling the truth. Who's the one in the prison, do you think?
I don't know. I can't know. And that drives me mad. At first, I thought them an illithid deception, a trick of the tadpole. But the dream figure is real. It lives in the prism. Voss believes they are the seed of Vlaakith's demise and the agent of Githyanki freedom. And I believe he may be right.
So she is starting to side with Voss. I wasn't sure if she'd reached that point of leaning that way or just sort of undecided. She's definitely leaning towards Voss. Interesting. What if Voss is wrong and his claims are wrong and Vlaakith's are real?
Then, when the Kithraki come for me, and come they will, I will submit to their blades. They would feed me to their dragons, and I would deserve no better.
It's also interesting because when Voss showed up, the Dream Visitor spoke, I believe, and said something about, you know, staying away or staying, you know, she didn't seem to trust him. I forget exactly the words she used, but that's what I got of it. I wonder if dialogue history will go back that far. It does not. Darn. Yeah, she said something, I think, about not trusting him, but it seems his goal is to free her, which we think is her goal. So, odd. Just leave or let's move on?
Yes. I'd like time to think. We'll meet Kith'rak Voss at Sharess's Caress in Baldur's Gate. Until then, be vigilant. Vlaakith's eyes are upon us.
Sharess's Caress. Or Sharess's Caress. I see Shar in that name. I don't know that that is related to Shar, but we know Shadowheart stole this artifact with the intention to bring it to Shar people in Baldur's Gate. And I'm just wondering, is this going to be a situation where we are entering something related to Shar, and we're going to have to choose between helping Shadowheart's people, the Dark Justicars, Shar's people, etc., or Voss? And would he be dumb enough to go to some sort of Shar place to have this meeting? Feel really dumb, but who knows? I just see Shar in the name and it makes me worried. Okay, I don't think anyone else is going to have anything to say after all that. Let's go around, see if any exclamation points show up. We're just missing several of our party members that normally would be standing around here. We've only got our 4 party members here. Everyone else vanished in the night. That's odd. Well, do we go back to trying to sleep? See if we get another event? We probably won't. So maybe same statement. We try and sleep. If nothing else happens, then we just reload and leave camp. Although I don't think it ever asked me about spending resources. Yeah. So is that just a free rest? Or am I just misremembering and it did ask me about what food to use and I just have blanked it from my mind? Definitely possible. Okay, no one has an exclamation point, so we're just going to leave camp. What's going on with this goblin camp? That's what I want to know. Because surely goblin camp doesn't just mean go to your own people's camp. It would feel weird. Oh. No, goblin camp means here. Oh, right. We did see that there was a connection to the mountain pass from the goblin camp. Right. We never went through it. So goblin camp is actually this goblin camp, which we've already dealt with. Okay. Well, we were talking about wanting to summon our ogres. Lump's Warhorn.
No one's stopped me yet.
So let's get to an open place. Like, I feel slightly bad just calling them just so we can murder them. But I also know that they're terrible people who kill for fun and profit with no morals. So I'm not overly concerned that we're gonna just summon them to kill them.
I'm ready. Whatever it takes.
Oh, one quick thing. We need to have Gale cast the Longstrider on us.
Long road ahead. Another step forward.
So let me take care of that real quick.
What will Voss have to show for himself when we catch up with him, I wonder?
Oh, dialogue.
His intelligence may yet prove the key to unlocking the artifact's secrets. We should ensure we follow up when we reach Baldur's Gate.
We definitely shall.
Would that I could. But your entourage is full. You'll need to make room for me first.
That's fine. Take Astarion's place, as always.
So, shall we?
Okay, well, since people have dialogue, I definitely want to check that out.
Just what I need.
Will, anything you want to say about Voss?
There's a schism growing among the Githyanki people, and Lae'zel just took one step towards choosing a side.
I mean, I think she took one step away from the side she was on. I'm not sure that she's necessarily stepping strongly towards Voss. At least it doesn't feel like it. It feels more that she's unsure, but at least considering Voss might be telling the truth.
You wish to speak?
I do not. Lae'zel.
We must press forward. Let's deal with Kith'rak, then find Voss in Baldur's Gate.
So, Lae'zel's going to war with Vlaakith? Going to break her chains in Baldur's Gate? Good for her.
Wish that Astarion had had something to say there about himself being somewhat chained to his vampire master. Somewhat broken, but his vampire master is chasing
Voss in
him.
the city, are we? Set the tenant of the prison free? This is all very, I don't know. I like a good caper, but I'd long for a tiny bit of status quo now and again.
Everything's fine.
I didn't expect Lae'zel to turn on the Lich Queen so readily. Wonders never cease.
I'm still waiting to see if you end up turning on Shar. Because, again, in that first dream sequence or memory that she showed us, where she joined Shar, we saw that she was wearing a bunch of moons and symbols of Selûne. And we called her on it, and she's like, no, I just liked moons, it's nothing. But I think she used to be a Selûne worshiper and has kind of lost her memory because that's what Shar does.
Yes?
So I'm just waiting for a moment where she finds out that she did used to worship Selûne and has to make a decision of whether she sticks with what she knows now or with who she used to be. I'm just expecting it. It might not happen, but it feels like it's foreshadowing. Alright. we'll just get Astarion back into our party.
How much farther can I go?
Didn't take too long, so I'm probably not going to take the time to cut all that out.
Well, hello. What can I do for you? I would, but you have so many friends already. Excellent. Now that that's settled, lead on.
So now we leave camp. And yeah, do we call Lump now? And I think we do. This episode's not too long. I think we can do that fight. I'm kind of thinking here, we've got a couple of explosive barrels that I might be able to make use of depending on where they end up standing. Maybe not, but maybe up here. More open and central. They'll show up somewhere. Seems like it could work out. Maybe they'll show up over here and it won't, but it's fine. But I think we're powerful enough that we can take them as it is. Shadowheart still has the horn, yes? Yeah, so let's toss down a quick save, just to be on the safe side, and have her sound the horn.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
Behold, brother, and take your fill.
I'm expecting...
Well, that's that. I've but one last battle in me. Shall we extend our bargain?
I was expecting them to say something about, why did you kill any, or why did you call me if there's no one to kill? But no, he's just like, you called me. Yeah, there's nothing to do, but you called me and I came, so all's well. So we could just extend it again for another 500. Or call him out, you didn't even kill anyone. And he's like, well, you called me here. But use does no longer have for gold. Our deal is done. I wish you well. No, we'll say you didn't even kill anyone.
You summon, you pay. That's the bargain.
Is Shadowheart the one talking? I guess she would be because she's the one who blew the horn. What use does an ogre have for gold?
Is gold not the pilot of our world vessel? I am a proud glutton, and not just for meat.
There's no option to just turn on him. So I guess we're gonna have to just attack him, which feels even worse. I was hoping that when we called him and there wasn't anyone to fight, that he would get upset and attack us or something, but no. We're just gonna have to stab him in the back. Okay, we have an attack option here just mid-dialogue. That's cool. I guess that's what we're gonna do, because telling him I wish you well feels weird to immediately stab him in the back, so we'll just go straight to attack. Are you sure you want to attack? Yes. Okay. Well now. Level 4 with 76 hit points. Level 4 with 68. He's hurt. It's odd. And level 4 with 76. So Lump is actually hurt. What were your guys' ACs? AC 13. You are gonna die. Ha! Which I know is the point. But dude. Tenacity, when you miss with an attack, deal 5 bludgeoning anyway. That sucks. You only have 12. Same with you. You've got a lot of hit points. Tenacity is rough, but their AC is super terrible. Well, we'll use... Do we use Sonic Overload? We don't really need to. Do they count as humanoid? I don't think so. I think on humans we see it up here. I think I've seen that. Or not. Certainly Githyanki doesn't have it. Thought I've seen it there, though, somewhere. that it says humanoid. Maybe it just doesn't say it on our allies. No, type humanoid. Brilliant. Type giant. Okay. So I don't think he can use his bite. Yeah, let's just use this. Sonic overload. We've got that turned off, thankfully. There you go. You are now silenced. Oh right, we can't pull away because that guy still. It's fine. Astarion, you can just stand there. Try not to die. Ew. Okay. We are thankfully not forced to be adjacent to them. I can just fireball right there. It's a terrible plan, but amusing nonetheless. I could actually do a careful spell. It would mean my allies automatically succeed, so they'd take half damage. It's an option. Only one sorcery point, as opposed to this, which is a sorcery point per slot level. So I can use this on a 3rd level spell for just a single sorcery point. Can I adjust it so that it doesn't hit Astarion? Yeah. And yet still hits the others. It's gonna hit Lae'zel and Shadowheart. It's not really a great way for me to get around that. I don't think. Lae'zel could move over here. Switch to your melee weapon. There you go. So I can get her outside of it as well, likely. Shadowheart, if you move anywhere, you're taking at least one attack of opportunity. So
what now?
Yeah. I think a fireball that's only going to hit one party member is a worthwhile choice here. Sorry, Shadowheart. You live. Well, that is a shame.
I am fury. I am death.
Okay, what are we gonna do with you now? We can have Shadowheart cast Spirit Guardians, because she's stuck in the middle of a group, and so it's a fun time to use it. Okay, Lump died. Fantastic. And this guy is within the range. Perfect. I wasn't sure if he would be, because sometimes it's not super clear of where the ranges are. And you are, in fact, the one that still has to go this turn. So let's see if we can get Lae'zel to kill you. $11 hit points left. She should pull it off with just the main hand. Yeah. It's a very likely chance. There we go.
Taking position.
Move her to there. I don't think we need to do the action surge.
Nothing will stand in my way.
You are done with your turn, and you're good with your turn. Alright, Astarion. Turn off that. There we go. Feel slightly bad, but not too bad.
On my way.
They weren't good people. You have nothing of value. You have nothing of value. Lump's the one who has warped headband of intellect. Set the wearer's intelligence score to 17. The enchantment has no effect if the intelligence score is higher without it. Why is it warped? This particular circlet is covered in yellow slime and has pieces of half-digested mutton stuck between the gem or behind the gems. Gross. But warped? Maybe warped is in like bent because it's too big for his head. Maybe? Diary of Lump the Enlightened. The Triumphs and Travels of Lump the Enlightened. Day 1. Now that I see truth, I can scarcely remember a time before. At first I thought it the human's thin flesh that bestowed this gift, but I've come to believe it was the circlet she wore. There was crunch in that shoe. Day 4. The goblin boss, Dror Ragslin, made a tantalizing proposal. Spare any prey bearing his new god's brand, and feast on the rest. He offered considerable coin in return. Alright. We go to that circlet. We don't yet have a head item that I've liked, and the idea of getting my intelligence up to 17 for free definitely feels like a good idea, since I do lots of checks to have a +3 on all of my arcana, insight, or investigate, etc. Sounds great. So let's see what that looks like. You can hardly even see it. I don't actually hate that, as opposed to most helmets. I'm willing to keep that one on. Yeah. Right, we've got this. Okay, so this isn't an item that we equip. That's the thing that seeks out psionic attacks or psionic stuff nearby to know when Vlaakith's soldiers are getting ready to attack. Yeah. All good things. I guess as it stands, that's it. We don't really have anything else to do in this area. I should have realized that Goblin Camp meant that that was just taking us back to this Goblin Camp, but I had forgotten about this path through the mountain. So let's head back to the mountain pass, figure out what we're going to do next time. So we've explored here, we've explored all of that. Up to there, whoa. We look... I don't think, no, that's not walkable terrain, it doesn't look like. So I think we're going to be heading up here somewhere next time. We can get rid of this marker, we don't need it anymore. So yeah, let's just stop here, which I think is where we fought those...
Find a way forward.
Undead ghouls and shepherds, I think they call them. Right about here. Yeah. We've already looted all this, so yeah. We will stop here. Next time, do we jump across there to go that way, up north-ish? Or do we go this way, heading pretty close to this travel through the mountain pass? Don't really want to go to the quest marker because I like to leave that for later, so maybe we will jump across that gap and see where this takes us up there. It's kind of my current thought, but I'll see you then. Hope you all had fun. Bye.